Hello and welcome to Yale-NUS Convocation 2022. It's great to see such a substantial audience here live and in person, and I know many of you are joining online as well, so thank you. Welcome back for the start of our new academic year. This event officially kicks off the next AY, and I want to start off by acknowledging and recognizing, congratulating Joanne Roberts as our new president. President Roberts, I know I can speak for everyone in the room and online in saying that we are so fortunate to have you as our president and to have you at the helm and under your leadership. The college is going to be great in these last 3 years. Yeah. There's 3 things that I've been thinking about in the last few weeks. And I just want to offer you a few thoughts and words of encouragement for the semester to come, but also for the next 3 years to come. Today officially marks the beginning of our Halcyon Days, our new tagline. So I'd like to encourage us all to lean in and to make the most of these remaining 3 years, embracing our tight-knit community and making lots of great memories together along the way. The other thing that I've been thinking about is legacy. I know many of you have. There's all sorts of projects going on in many ways that we plan to leave a lasting legacy beyond 3 years. One happened just last week when we welcomed NUS college students to campus and have started to engage with them and teach them how special Yale-NUS College really is. There was an event called Crossover. Some of you participated in that, including running diversity and inclusion sessions with the incoming students to teach them how we view these important matters, and then also started to tell them about our various student organizations and the events and activities that make Yale-NUS unique and special. So these are ways that we start to pass down this important legacy. And then finally, in thinking about the Student Affairs Office and also the Dean of Faculty Office, how we can preserve the Yale-NUS experience over these next 3 years and ensure that you have a high-quality educational experience. We've been working very, very hard to do this, and I'm proud to say that we're doing it in many ways and will continue to do so. I send out a bi-weekly email update with examples of how we're preserving that experience, but as always, we very much welcome your feedback, me personally as well, about ways that we can do it even better, and I welcome your ideas as always. Well, we have a special treat for you today, which is why there's a bit of fog in the room that's arising, although it made for a good entrance for me as well, perhaps. I want to introduce the Yale-NUS Ballroom Society. Yeah! They're going to kick us off today with a performance, so here they go. Well, that was inspiring. Ballroom Society, as some of you may be aware, has been such an important part of the student experience at Yale-NUS for many years now. In fact, last year, they were the largest of all the student organizations on campus with around 80 members. I also wanted to let you know, for any students out there, that they will be at the activities fair on Wednesday, so go see them at the table if you're interested in joining. And then also they will have open classes coming up, so do not be intimidated. There are many people that had no experience whatsoever with ballroom dancing and then joined in once they came to Yale-NUS. I would like to now introduce Jane Jacobs, who is the Kwan Im Thong Hood Cho Temple Professor in Urban Studies. She is also our Associate Dean for Faculty Development. And in general, she is just a lovely person who cares very deeply about students and their learning. So, Jane.
I am Professor Jane Jacobs, and I have a very great honour today of introducing Joanne Roberts as the third president of Yale-NUS College. I'm one of the inaugural faculty of the college, and I speak today as someone who's enjoyed a relationship with Joanne both as a respected colleague and as a special friend. I'm just trying to find where you are. There you are. President Roberts trained as an economist, gaining her PhD from Queen's University, Canada. Prior to joining the college, she held positions at the University of Toronto and the University of Calgary, and at Calgary she held a very prestigious Canada Research Chair. She's a recipient of numerous research grants and awards and is published in top economic journals. President Roberts has a record of scholarly leadership, both through her editorial work on various journals, and I think one example of her leadership is her role in establishing the Canadian Economics Women's Network, which sort of speaks to some of her key interests. President Roberts' disciplinary specialism is in the area of public economics, particularly the effect of incentives on behaviour. Public economics is that branch of economics concerned with understanding the effects and efficiencies of public policies. It seeks to contribute to public welfare in the broadest sense of that term. For any of us who know President Roberts well, this specialisation makes complete sense. President Roberts is always alert to fairness and equity, always seeking efficient structures and processes that are meaningful to those they affect. President Roberts understands deeply that what institutions do and how they conduct themselves makes a difference with respect to the well-being of the communities they serve. Joanne Roberts became a permanent member of our community of learning at Yale-NUS College in 2017. It was not a first experience of Singapore, with family connections. Hi, Eugene. Finn, Jude. With family connections to the region, she has previously held visiting positions at both NUS and Yale-NUS. Now, it so happened that I was the director of the Division of Social Sciences at the time President Roberts began her links with the college. How she joined the college and her contributions since joining speak well to her character and drive and what we might be able to expect and rely on with her as our president. It was she who proactively approached me in 2014 about a possible visiting professorship. And it was she who kept her potential visiting professorship on my agenda with a gentle email reminder every now and then. Exactly. As a visiting professor in 2015, Joanne stepped up to serve as head of study of economics, voluntarily wrote a position paper that established our ongoing culture of faculty mentoring and seeded a women's faculty breakfast tradition. Joanne's leadership abilities were clear, and we were delighted when she agreed to join as a permanent member of the faculty in 2017. Since joining the college, Joanne has served in many important administrative roles, too many to list here. even moonlighting as Dean of Students for a period of time. The result of this is that she has seen firsthand the inside of most senior administrative roles in the college. She's taught in the classroom, and she's engaged directly and deeply with questions of faculty development, curriculum quality, and student life. She has been frontline in our most challenging moments and has consistently championed all that Yale-NUS College has achieved and will achieve. In our recent context of change, in her role as EVP Academic Affairs, Joanne has forged strong relationships with those developing NUS College, ensuring that us, Yale-NUS, leaves a lasting legacy. I'm thrilled, Joanne, I'm really thrilled that you have been offered and agreed to serve as our president. And I wish you all the best in that service. Indeed, I happen to be not the only one with such good wishes, and before you take to the stage to offer your inaugural address, Joanne, we would like to share with you and the audience here some other messages of best wishes. I think I'm going to hand over to the video at this moment.
To be part of the first and only liberal arts and sciences college in Singapore. And I'm reassured to leave it in the hands of my remarkable colleague, Professor Joanne Roberts.
Dear Joanne, on behalf of the governing board, I'm very happy to welcome you as the new president of the college. We look forward to working very closely with you to continue to deliver the fine tradition of a Yale-NUS College education to all our students.
I want to offer my sincerest congratulations on your appointment as the first woman president of Yale-NUS College. Welcome to the Sisterhood of Women Presidents in Higher Education.
Congratulations, Joanne. I wish you all the best in your new role, and I really look forward to working with you.
I cannot think of a better person at this time to continue and strengthen the collaboration between the college and Yale.
It's always exciting when a college gets a new president, especially when that president's a woman.
Your appointment is a strong symbol of growing female empowerment. You've made us extremely proud. I'm so happy for you.
You're shattering ceilings, creating role models, and forging a brave new path for others to follow.
Thank you for your commitment to diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. It has made a tremendous difference, not just for members of the Yale-NUS community, but for so many of us who are working to advance these principles and values across academic institutions.
Your work towards broad and inclusive models of education that support holistic student development has already helped make Yale-NUS one of the finest liberal arts colleges anywhere, while also being part of a world-class research university.
With your strengths in research and as an academic and your ability to manage human talent, you have the right combination of skills to take the college forward.
I know Yale-NUS is in great hands under your leadership.
As our first woman president, I am sure you will leave your own mark and legacy.
Your new presidency will demonstrate to women and men how inclusive leadership will lead to more effective and sustainable solutions.
We wish you all the best in the start of your presidency, and we applaud your courage in taking on the leadership at Yale-NUS in these challenging times.
From the first female leader of an institution to another, congratulations, Joanne. Welcome to the club. We are really looking forward to watching you soar.
Congratulations, Joanne.
Over the years, we at the Tan Chin Tuan Foundation have worked with the college on impactful and effective programs. As we continue this collaboration with Professor Roberts at the helm, we wish her every success as president.
Congratulations, Joanne, on your rising presidency.
On behalf of the American Chamber of Commerce in Singapore, we look forward to partnering with you to educating the next generation of leaders.
Congratulations, Joanne, for another milestone in your professional career. All the best in your future endeavors.
Congratulations on your incredible success. I always knew you could do it, and I'm incredibly proud of you.
I wish you all the very best in your new position and certainly look forward to meeting you soon.
Warmest congratulations and all the best, Joanne.
I would like to congratulate President Joanne Roberts, a pioneering economist and an educator who will lead Yale-NUS College in its next important phase.
Congratulations on a new and wonderful opportunity that I'm sure you will enjoy and excel as you always do.
As a former liberal arts college president, a vice president at Yale for 2 decades, and a trustee of this college since its founding, I have had the privilege of working with many talented administrators. But Joanne, you are more. You are an extraordinary leader. You lead with your head and your heart in equal measures. And no one works harder or cares more deeply about this place. It is a blessing to every Kingfisher, student, faculty, staff, alum, that you have been willing to assume this position right now. And I am sure everyone agrees with me, and let's show it right now by joining in a hearty applause. To you, Joanne. Please, everyone join me.
It's my honor, on behalf of all of us in this community of learning, to welcome to the podium President Joanne Roberts.
Oh, wow. Oh, thank you, Jane. And thank you to all the amazing women on that video. It's really moving. Kingfishers, colleagues, and friends, I'm delighted to be here. As your new president, to welcome you back for this brand new academic year. First, I'd like to thank the Yale-NUS Governing Board for entrusting me to serve as your leader for the next 3 years. I'd also like to thank my very supportive family, who have just moved to campus and, as always, have been so welcome by all of you. And of course, an event like this and what's to follow afterwards doesn't happen without a ton of commitment. So I want to, before I forget at the end, I want to thank the staff and the students who have made today and all that comes later in Balik Kampung, our beautiful ballroom dancing, possible. Thank you for that. We are in a uniquely important moment in the college's history as we enter the final 3 years of this incredible journey. We talk a great deal about the halcyon at this college. It is, of course, the name given in Greek mythology to the kingfisher, our mascot. It's also a term that's used to describe a time in life that's special. Let us all work to ensure that the next 3 years will be our halcyon days, a period characterized by great success and joy amidst calmness and peace. As Walt Whitman so aptly wrote in his poem, Halcyon Days, as gorgeous, vapory, silent hues cover the evening sky, as softness, fullness, rest suffuse the frame, like fresher, balmier air. I thought I'd share with you today a picture from my summer holiday. My summer holiday in Canada was filled with beautiful, sweet, warm moments. Yet this time of year in Canada, there's a briskness in the air that signals that the seasons will be changing. This elusive transience somehow makes these moments more precious and more treasured. I feel that way as I look forward to the next 3 years. We are in a precious moment before change, and we are in this moment together as a community. As I was thinking about what to talk about today, a number of things came to mind. I could elaborate on all the plans we have crafted to ensure that we meet our commitments to you, the plans that we have to continue to support our students in their educational journeys, the plans that we have to facilitate faculty and staff development amidst transition. But instead, I found myself pondering less on what we will do and more on how we will do it. I found myself returning, as I have many times in the past year, to our core values: transformation, exploration, respect, inclusivity, and care. In a spirit of co-creation, which has always characterized this college and its way of working, these values were generated by a consultation process involving the entire Yale-NUS community. They resonated strongly with me when they were developed. And although the college's context has shifted, these values are just as meaningful to me now as they were then, perhaps even more so. As we collectively navigate the changes ahead of us, these are the values that will guide us. In particular, we're heading into a period of transformation. A new honors college has been established, leveraging off the best features and extensive experience of Yale-NUS and the University Scholars Program. As I think of how this new college will benefit many in the years to come, I'm heartened by the fact that all that we have achieved, learned, and accomplished will be shared with this new institution. I hope eyes will be open, horizons broadened, and new experiences gained and lived, leveraging off the wisdom and adventures of Kingfisher's past. As an institution, this truly is a transformation. However, for me, and perhaps for some of you, the greatest transformative effect of this college has always been more personal. Yale-NUS has been home to me for the past number of years. In that time, I've constantly been amazed by the talents and the open conversations that surround me. Yale-NUS is a place where openness, opportunity, and trust have given me the space to develop, explore, and learn from all of you in ways beyond my wildest imaginings. This space for our community to freely exchange ideas, listen to various perspectives, and discuss issues of concern will continue. Through exploration and our commitment to open inquiry, we enable all of our community, both through the formal curriculum and through our immersive student life experience, to gain new knowledge that's not just confined to the classroom, but available to all through our extensive experiential and residential programs. Within our small college community, we learn and work and live in close proximity to one another. Valuing pluralism and respecting diversity are hallmarks of our inclusive community. All of us have different backgrounds, lived experiences, and aspirations, yet each one of us belongs here at Yale-NUS. I know that even when we disagree, it'll be done with respect. Perhaps foremost on my mind is that we have always been a community of care. And this particular core value has manifested itself never more clearly than in the past year. Through the sudden announcement and all of the changes that we have had to navigate, our first instinct has always been to show care, to ask of each other, "Are you okay?" Personally, I've been touched by the concern shown by all of you, by our students, our colleagues, our alumni. This is Yale-NUS at its very best. And this core value of care will be our guiding tenet in the coming years as we look out for each other through this transition. For a young institution, we have created an innovative curriculum, spearheaded world-class research, nurtured several cohorts of intrepid Yale-NUS students who are making a positive impact to the community around them. We have a history to be proud of. And just as we work together to co-create our core values, I know we will all work together over the next few years to build a lasting legacy for this college. I've been thinking a lot about how we will define, articulate, and share our legacy. We've shared our curriculum, programs, and ways of working with NUS College, and our colleagues there are hard at work, integrating our best features and experiences. We've welcomed some new NUS College students onto our campus, and I know that many of our student leaders and organizations have reached out to engage and invite them into our college and campus community. We are also building other notions of legacy, such as the recently launched Digital Archives Project, a rich digital repository that serves to identify, collect, preserve, and provide access to materials relevant to the history of Yale-NUS College. In the coming years, we'll have many opportunities to contribute to this building and to other forms of legacy for the college. It's important work, and it will ensure a lasting impact will be shared with a wider community going forward. Of course, when I think about our legacy, I also think about our alumni. They are and will be our greatest legacy. And soon, that will include all of you in just a few years' time. Our students have always tried to make a difference, whether it's working with a faculty member on research, or distilling what they've learned here into positive action in areas like environmental sustainability, or reaching out to help those who are disadvantaged beyond our gates. Our talented faculty and staff will also contribute to our legacy. They will carry forward the unique lessons from building and being at Yale-NUS into all of their future endeavors. In this, after 2025, we will all become alumni of Yale-NUS College, and we will all be alumni of the transformative experience it has offered to us. As a community, and as we embark on our future adventures, we'll continue to share the Yale-NUS bond and experience. The impact of this college will travel well beyond its walls and long after 2025. As I think about our halcyon days in the next 3 years, bright yet impermanent, I encourage each of us to make the most of the time we have here. Let's continue to be open to each other and these experiences, to be curious, to learn as much as we can, and to be brave enough to be transformed by this amazing place and this precious time that we have here together. I'd like to end with the last lines of the poem I began my speech with. Then, for the teeming, quietest, happiest days of all, the brooding and blissful halcyon days. These are our halcyon days, and this is our village, our community, and it gives me great pleasure to welcome you all back home, because now and always, we are Yale-NUS. I would like to now invite my colleague on stage, Dr. Kevin Goldstein, has been nominated by the students to be the faculty speaker. Kevin, please.
I can't believe I have to follow that speech. I mean, couldn't we have figured something out? But no, I am honored to have the opportunity to speak to all of you today. But before I sort of enter into my remarks, my spiel, I just want to pile on the love for Joanne a little bit. Professor Roberts and I started at the same time in 2017. And early on, we shared an office suite. And although Joanne's office has gotten a good deal bigger since then, she remains fundamentally down to earth. And when I think about what it means to be a great leader, I think it's someone who, whoever they meet, under whatever circumstances, they look that person in the eye. And I see when Joanne meets a member of staff or faculty or one of the students, she meets their eye. She doesn't look past them, doesn't look through them. she meets their eye, and she listens. So I just want to welcome, along with the chorus of other people, President Roberts, and I just want to say that I can't think of a better person to help write the final chapter of Yale-NUS than you. So once again, a hearty applause for President Roberts. So I only have 5 minutes and a lot of wisdom to dispense. So I'm just going to get to it. Really, all I have to contribute is my own experience, for what it's worth. And since the news of the merger, I found myself measuring time by 2025. 4 years left, as if I were a first-year student again, though with many more gray hairs than back then. It's a strange thing how time works, the subjective experience of time, I mean. In retrospect, those 4 years in college, for me as an undergrad, felt vast relative to the years that followed. This is because college represented a host of new experiences, new people, new ideas, a break with old routines, identities, and above all, books. And in case you can't tell, I was a nerd. I was, in fact, a noble subset of nerd, a literature nerd. I devoured books, hundreds of books, world cinema, went to museums, took walks. This is the gift that college gives you, the immense, terrible privilege of time, free time. I know it might not always feel that way, given your assignments, readings, extracurriculars, work-study jobs. I had a work-study job too. I actually worked in IT, which anyone who I've taught will be floored by this idea. I just answered the phone and said, "Have you turned it off and on again?" And then I referred it to someone who had a notion. So whether you have any of these things, work-study jobs, etc., relative to adult life, you have time. Time to read, to imbibe new worlds, to reflect. The classes you take, the long readings we give you, are there to facilitate the process, to inform you about what this species knows, the questions we have asked and continue to ask. These questions become a part of you, helping you determine what you believe, what you desire, who you are. You could achieve these things without college. Indeed, most people do. But it's an uphill battle. So often life, the routine of work, will make demands of you. Decades may pass until you ask yourself, where did the time go? So be aware of this privilege, this waiting time in the antechamber to adult life. Be productive, sure, but also take time to be lazy, to daydream, to be idle, to wander, to engage in pretentious debates with your friends, sweetmates, enemies, assuming those enemies are not also your sweetmates. Ooh, that hit a nerve, I wasn't expecting that. Above all, though, protect your solitude, your silence. Only when you're alone can you begin to know yourself and what you believe. And I don't mean alone and doom scrolling on your phone. That will only make you lonely. And loneliness is not the same as solitude. Solitude requires patience and vigilance. It isn't an easy thing to live a deliberate life. It's easier to go through life in a state of distraction, but this would be a waste of time. Take it from me, a frequent doom scroller myself. I hope that your life after college will still afford you space and time to continue this intellectual and emotional journey. But even if your life becomes too busy, full of distractions, you must remember what you learned and will learn in these short, vast years. You must not lose that knowledge. You will need it along the way, so that you don't compromise on what is most essential, what you believe is right. This is who you are. Once lost, such knowledge is hard to regain. Your college years, and as it turns out, this college, will one day be but a memory. Nothing beautiful lasts forever. It lives in our memories. So embrace this place while you have it. There's no taking it for granted now. All that's solid melts into air. That's an LH shout out for those of you who remember. But memory is stronger than stone. It lingers far longer than any buildings, any campus. Okay, thank you. But no, don't save it. I would like to welcome onto the stage your student government president, now and not for life, because I've heard about the constitutional rules. Yeah, unless there's a coup. Never mind. Welcome, Sabrina Eng.
First of all, good afternoon to our fantastic professors and administration, and as well as my wonderful fellow students. My name is Sabrina, a freshly minted sophomore, and your current president of Yale-NUS Student Government. Allow me to be amongst the first to welcome you back to college. I'm excited to be starting this new year with such a terrifically unique community, and I'm really excited to see what comes next. Of course, first, please allow me to join the rest in welcoming our new president, Joanne Roberts. Professor Roberts has been with us for the past 5 years, and she has been a pillar of support for our community. I, for one, cannot wait to continue working with her to meet the needs of our students, as well as make the most of our next few years. This is a sight. If you could see what I'm looking at right now. This time last year, I would have not thought that the performance hall could hold so many people inside of it. I loathe to mention it, but COVID-19's impact has been undeniable. But it's for this reason that I cannot wait to see the many traditions I have heard tales of from our brilliant residential college advisors come to light in real physical time. Mixes, performances, daily happenings in the courtyard. I believe I speak for every new sophomore and junior when I say that we're going to love it. When I first received my letter of acceptance, I was equal parts excited and apprehensive. Having just finished my final international baccalaureate examinations in the height of the pandemic, I was a bit curious and apprehensive about what the next college life would look like for me. And indeed, it was a very different experience from the stories my older peers told. Our cohorts were embroiled in unusual rules to minimize the spread of infection, hybrid classes, late seminar timings. Not to mention, many of our fellow students were miles away in their respective home countries attending class. It was a very different first impression than our seniors received. And to top it all off, barely a few weeks into my first semester, our collective hearts were broken by the announcement of the merger. The months afterwards were undoubtedly a struggle for many of us, who must have felt a sense of loss over the community that we all hold close to our hearts. No one would have faltered any upset, apathy, or defeat we might have felt. But this is not what I saw. What surprised me most as a fresh-faced freshie was how quickly and unanimously our community came together. I remember being on the floor of my suite, looking down over the railing into the elm courtyard. There were so many people there. It was noisy, messy, but above all, it was genuine. All of us felt each other's betrayal and shock, but instead of wallowing, we found comfort in our shared experience. And I like to think that we emerged stronger for it. I have since been ecstatic to bear witness to and take part in the Yale-NUS spirit. We seem to have it all. Brilliant and discerning Octon articles, countless exciting activities run by our indomitable student organizations, beautiful residential college dinners and events, shout out to my team in the Elm College Council. I do not think it would be remiss to say that here, the fun never really stops, except maybe during exam week. Residential college life is a hallmark of Yale-NUS, and being able to be a part of its vibrancy has given me countless invaluable memories that I will carry fondly beyond my college years. One event that strikes me in particular would be the end of semester showcases put together by our many performing arts groups. I'm constantly wowed by the enthusiasm and creativity of these many groups, from the hilarity of Yale-NUS Improv, to the grace of Synced, not to mention Ballroom Society, of the hype of the different bands across our cohorts. And of course, I could not fail to mention the efforts of our faculty and administration in a time of great emotional turmoil. From professors giving us reasonable extensions, and I must thank Dr. Goldstein for entertaining me so many times in Lit Hum, to the Student Affairs Office and Corey putting together a marvelous end-of-semester carnival for the whole college to enjoy. The amount of support we have received and given is immeasurable. And I think I speak for every single one of our students here that I felt incredibly supported to flourish to the best of my ability. As we move into our final 3 years, I would like to share some wishes for the student body. I hope that we remain supportive of each other and that we grow stronger from it. I hope that everyone can turn to their friends, suite mates, student organizations, classmates, or even someone that you meet in the courtyard for support and help in our times of need. As we graduate, our student body will grow a little bit smaller every year. It's a bit scary, I'll admit, but if the people that I've met in my short 2 semesters here are any indication of the strength of our community, I have every confidence that we're going to make it. Together, we will grow, and we will adapt to the fearsome real world. If anything, that world had better be ready for us. Burn bright, Yale-NUS, and welcome to your halcyon days.
Wow, what a wonderful way to kickstart this academic year. Thank you all so much for attending today, again, both in person and online. As you're aware, we are now going to move into the next phase of today, and that is the Balik Kampung set of events, some fun carnival games set up all over campus. You probably saw them on your way over today. So that will run from 4 p.m. until 7. We really do hope you can join. Text your friends to come down if they're not here, and just enjoy your time together as community. So thank you again for attending today, and have a great year ahead.